In this presentation, what we're going to cover is health insurance agencies and releases. This is brought to you by Agent Navigator. We are the premier insurance training and resource guide. So what's a release and why are they so important? Let's go over some of the release basics. Anytime you join an agency, you are entering into a legally binding agreement that says you are going to represent the carriers that agency appoints you through. So, as an example, let's say the agency appoints you with 4 health insurance carriers. You cannot write business through those 4 carriers with any other agency or even go carrier direct unless you obtain a written release. There's a 6-month rule with very few exceptions. Without a release, you must sit out for a 6-month period of time. Sitting out simply means that you can't write business through those carriers for 6 months. And then after that, you may be able to move your appointment without a signed release. And for appointed carriers, just make sure that before you join any agency, you know exactly which carriers you're going to be appointed with. So why may you need a release? Let's go over some examples. Lacking support, lacking training, commission issues, and higher commissions. For all of these, we're talking about a case where this is severely not as advertised. For example, if your agency says, well, we offer a full webinar calendar that's packed with training, and you join and you see that webinar calendar and it does indeed have a lot of training events, but you can't make some of the times, that's really not going to be a reason to ask for a release. However, if you join that agency and you're looking for all of those online webinars and you don't see hardly any, that could be a reason that you would want to leave. Lacking support, let's say you join an agency and you try to get in contact with them. Leaving voicemails, you're writing emails and the voicemails aren't returned and they're not replying to any of the emails. And you're new. You haven't even had a chance to prove yourself. That may be a reason that you would want to leave. Any kind of severe commission issues. Let's say, for example, they say that you're at 10% and you start receiving your commission statements that show that you're at 8% and they won't address those issues. Again, that would be an example. Higher commissions I have an asterisk next to because you shouldn't be leaving the agency just because another agency offers you a better commission package. But we're actually going to address that a little later on. For this example, what I'm covering is something that, again, is not as promised. Let's say you come in at a 10% level as a writing agent, and they say, if you write $200,000 worth of business, we're going to take you from 10% to 12%. So you write to $200,000, and you do not get taken to 12%. And again, it can't be solved. That could be a case where, again, not as advertised, you may want to leave. Let's look at agency responsibilities. They're responsible to provide you with training as promised, provide you with the support as promised, address any potential commission issues in a very timely manner, and allow you to earn higher commissions if your production warrants it. Let's go over some agent responsibilities. As an agent, you're responsible for writing business. And you have to understand that as an agent, no agency is going to offer you unlimited training and support if the production is not coming in over a fair period of time. Don't agency jump, which means every time you think that there's a better deal out there, you're constantly jumping from one agency to the next. And actually, off of that point, you should always give your agency what's called the first right of refusal. So if somebody offers you a better deal, you owe it to your current agency to let them know about that offer. They may be able to match that offer, again, if your production warrants it, or they may be able to show you a loophole that exists in the other offer that you did not know about. And picking up one extra contract does not mean that you need to move every single appointment that you have. Let's say you're with an agency and you're happy with that agency and everything is going well. And let's say that you have 12 appointments with them, maybe 4 or 5 through health, some life appointments, and everything is going pretty good. And let's say you want to pick up an appointment through one carrier that your agency does not represent. Well, that competing agency may say, well, we want you to move all of your business over to us. That's not really fair, especially if your agency is living up to their end of the bargain and you've got a lot of contracts with them and you're writing business. What you should tell that competing agency is, I'll pick up the extra contract for you, but I don't think it's fair to move my entire block of business over to you. Releases and advanced commission debt. Advanced liability. One thing that you have to understand as an agent is that agencies are ultimately responsible for your advances. So if you have incurred $15,000 in commission advances and you ask to leave, one thing you have to understand is that the carrier is going to go after that agency to recoup the money. So they actually have a lot of liability for offering commission advances to their agents. So do not expect a release unless your advances have fully cleared. And we can do some math. If you're taking a 9-month advance through a particular carrier through your agency, and let's say you stop taking those advances in June, don't expect a release until March, until that 9 months has passed and all of those advances have been earned. Now let's talk about avoiding the issue and some potential solutions. First of all, you want to get everything in writing. You want to get all of your commission levels in writing through each carrier, because carriers are going to offer different commission levels. Any possible production requirements, especially for moving up the commission scale. So if they say, well, we're going to put you at 10%, but you can go to 12, you want that in writing, how much production needs to be written before you go to 12%. Without anything in writing backing you up, you really don't have any place to go. And you also want to know the terms to obtaining a release. For carriers, know in advance, again, all of the carriers that your agency plans on appointing you through. We can't stress how important it is to know which carriers you're going to get appointed through with every agency. And a potential solution, if you reach an impasse and they simply will not offer a release, but you maintain that you believe you should be able to leave that agency, the only real option that you have at your disposal is to pick up contracts from carriers that your agency simply does not represent. So if there's 7 health insurance carriers in your state, and you're appointed through 4 of them, through one particular agency, then you may want to pick up the other 3, either direct or through another agency, so you can continue writing business. And that's what we have for health insurance agencies and releases. Again, this is Agent Navigator, the premier insurance training and resource guide. If you have any questions about this presentation, please don't hesitate to contact us at info@agentnavigator.com. Thank you.